Welcome to the Dr. 305 Show, Medical Knowledge Friday, with yours truly, Dr. 305 himself. My name is Ahmed Al-Nahas. I'm a fourth-year medical student transitioning into my residency year next year. On today's show and topic, we're going to be talking about what is social distancing. Now, the itinerary I'm going to break it down to you for today's show. We're going to be talking about what is social distancing, what is the correct space between you and another individual to practice social distancing the correct way, how is the virus transmitted, and what does social distancing do to cut the transmissibility of the virus between people, what is the distance a virus can be spread through airborne respiratory droplets, why do we practice social distancing, and who are those high-risk individuals or groups within our society that we are trying to protect from the COVID-19 virus by practicing the social distancing precautionary and safety caution technique. Now, without further ado, let's just dive into it. So we know we hear about the term social distancing, aka physical distancing, on the TV, on the news outlets, from our local government officials, from our local health officials. So let's try to understand what it means so that we can practice and abide by it correctly so that we can protect ourselves, our friends, and our families within our society. Now, what is social distancing? Limiting face-to-face contact with others is the best way to reduce the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Social distancing, also called physical distancing, means keeping space between yourself and other people outside of your home. To practice social distancing or physical distancing, stay at least 6 feet, aka 2 meters, aka 2 arms length between yourself and other people. In addition to every steps to prevent COVID-19, keeping space between you and others is the best tools we have to avoid being exposed to this COVID-19 virus and slowing its spread locally and across the country and the world. Limit close contact with others outside your household in indoor and outdoor spaces. Since people can spread the virus before they even know they are sick or have it, it is important to stay away from others when possible, even if you or they have no symptoms at all. Social distancing is especially important for people who are in higher risk severe groups for severe illness from the COVID-19 virus. Now, we talked about what is social distancing, aka physical distancing. We talked about what is the correct space. The correct space between you and other people is supposed to be 6 feet, also known as 2 meters, or 2 arm lengths between you and another person. Now, how is this COVID-19 virus transmitted? There are 3 ways. Number 1 is through airborne respiratory droplets. So if someone talks, coughs, sneezes, an airborne respiratory droplet, thousands of them get released from the mouth or the nose. And they can travel between 0 and 6 feet within the air flow. So that's the first way it could get transmitted, through airborne respiratory droplets. If one of those droplets touches one of your 3 mucosal surfaces, your conjunctiva of your eye, your inner nostrils, or your oral mucosal surface, you get infected with the virus. The second way is by touching contaminated surfaces with the COVID-19 living on those surfaces and then touching your face, one of your 3 mucosal surfaces again, you get infected with the virus. Third, through sexual intercourse through male semen. Now that's the way the COVID-19, as of right now, we've learned, is transmitted between human beings. Now, as we discussed, if someone coughs, sneezes, or talks, those particles can travel from 0 to 6 feet. Hence why we put the 6 feet or more protocol in for social distancing, because we want to protect not only ourselves, but people around us in case someone is sick, symptomatic, showing signs, or who is sick, asymptomatic, without showing signs from transmitting the virus. By practicing social distancing, aka physical distancing, we are able to cut the transmissibility of the virus from human to human contact. So if someone's sick with the virus, they'll wait it out. The virus will die within their system after the immune system kind of overcomes it, and that's the end of the virus. And we prevent the virus from being transmitted to other individuals within our society. Now, why do we practice social distancing? COVID-19 spreads mainly among people who are in close contact within about 6 feet or 2 meters for a prolonged period. Spread happens when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks, and droplets from their mouth or noses are launched into the air and land in the mouth or noses or conjunctiva eyes of people nearby. The droplets can also be inhaled into the lungs. Recent studies indicate that people who are infected but do not have symptoms, aka asymptomatic, likely also play a role in the spread of COVID-19. So what does that mean? That means an individual who got infected with the virus can be asymptomatic, showing no signs or symptoms, and to themselves they feel like they have not been infected at all. They're healthy, they're still doing their own thing, they're still abiding by their daily activities, going out and whatnot. They can still be spreading that virus through a 2 to 14 day window period of being infected with the virus to the community around them. Hence why we also recommend wearing masks to protect that individual from spreading it to others and to protect that individual from getting it from other people as well. And to implement this important rule we're talking about today, social distancing, to prevent that individual who is symptomatic or asymptomatic from transmitting through airborne respiratory droplets the COVID-19 virus to other people due to close proximity. So we want people to be 6 feet or more, not in that close proximity area, so that we can cut the transmissibility of the COVID-19 virus. Now, why do we practice social distancing? What's another beneficial factor of it? It's because we protect those individuals in those high risk categories. Now, who are those high risk category individuals in our society? Now, those are people who are 65 or older or elderly, people who are immunocompromised, meaning their immune system doesn't work properly, people who have cardiovascular disease, lung disease, renal disease, hypertension, diabetes mellitus, people who have autoimmune diseases, people such as HIV individuals, people who've had cancer or have survived cancer. Those people we're putting in an umbrella of high risk category because since their immune systems aren't strong enough to battle or fight opportunistic infections, imagine the COVID-19 coming on top of the disease or issues they have already, they would not be able to put a stronger fight as let's say a healthy individual as well compared to that. Now, those high-risk group individuals have a higher rate of mortality, have a higher rate of producing severe symptoms with the COVID-19 virus. Hence, social distancing is very vital in cutting the transmissibility, not only to ourselves in the healthy community, but also individuals who are suffering, who have comorbid issues, who are diagnosed with severe disease or issues. We don't want to hurt those individuals. We want to protect them, because we're a family, we're a team society. So we got to think about not only ourselves, but people around us in our community, our brothers and our sisters who are suffering from other underlying issues. We don't want them to get infected with this COVID-19 virus. So that's why we try to practice and implement the social distancing guidelines. Now, to recap on today's episode, we talked about what is social distancing, what is the correct amount of space between you and the individual to practice social distancing correct, how is the virus transmitted, how would we cut the transmissibility by practicing social distancing? What is the distance the virus can be spread through airborne respiratory droplet? Why do we practice social distancing? And who are those high risk category group of individuals within our society? Now, I hope this information was helpful and insightful. I always recommend to always go to your primary resources. Those are our three primary resources, are the CDC, the NIH, and the FDA for all your information about the pandemic and about the COVID-19 virus. For any questions, concerns, or comments, you can always DM me on Instagram at dr.305MIA. I look forward to answering any questions all of you may have. Again, guys, practice those safety and precautionary tips we always talk about. Wear your mask, wear your gloves, wear your safety glasses, use your hand washing, hand sanitizer techniques, practice social distancing. All of these are key to success and will help us battle and fight this COVID-19 virus. Don't feel in despair. There's always hope out there. By us working together as a family, as a team, because there's no I in team, we'll get through this together, this pandemic, and survive and get back to normalcy in the near future. Till then, all of you be safe out there, sending all your positivity, blessings, good energy, and good karma. I love all of you. Till next time, be safe, take care. Let's go.